Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm excited because we're playing around with some new products, some that I picked up or some that I received in my April subscription boxes, and I did already unbox them. That is a video that I've already posted, so definitely go check that out if you want to see what I received in Ipsy and BoxyCharm for the month of April. But I didn't do a tutorial with those products, and I decided today we were going to dive into them and see how they performed. And I'm actually quite surprised because some of them might be my new favorites. So today we played around with a palette from Artist Couture. We have a serum foundation, a cheek and highlighter palette. So I'm excited to play around with those things as well as a couple others. Now you guys, if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscription box down below. Hit the bell for notifications of new videos. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. But if you want to see how those products performed and we got this look using them, just keep watching. Okay, we're gonna try out some new makeup, and a lot of it is from my April subscription boxes, which that video is already live, as well as I picked up the Supreme Mauves eyeshadow palette from Artist Couture. I have the Supreme Nudes, I think it's the Supreme Nudes, and I really like that eyeshadow palette, but this one just spoke to me. If you have been here before, I always talk about mauve shades are my favorite, or like the pinky tones. So this eyeshadow palette, it just speaks to me. And when I saw this, I really just wanted to add it to my collection. I'm really hoping that it's the same formula from the Supreme Nudes. Now looking at the eyeshadow palette, there's a lot of neutral shades and some shades to deepen it up, as well as some beautiful shimmers. I really like that there's this brown shade, which looks like it leans more purple or red. I guess we'll see when we go to use it. But I do want to swatch the shimmers. And then this middle row right here is all nudes, as well as right here. And then over here we have this mauve shade. So I'm actually looking at this and trying to get an idea of what I want to use. But I definitely know I'll be using this mauve shade and then this shade to deepen up the outer V. Now when I received my order, there is a card in there with some details. Just this photo is stunning. This says the Supreme era continues, this time in essential array of modern mauves and timeless nudes. This third 12-pan member of our Supreme family is designed with unique sparkling duochromes and high impact mattes to deliver supreme looks. It's limited edition, vegan and cruelty free, and retails for $45. I think I bought mine on Sephora. So I know that Sephora has it as well as their website. Okay, this first shade is Risque, and it's more of a glitter than like a matte shimmer. So there is chunks of glitter in here. It looks like it's kind of silver with, I don't think it's rose gold, it's more like a champagne shade. The second shade is Stripped Down. This one looks more like a suede shimmer, if that makes sense. But it doesn't have like chunky glitter in it, which isn't a bad thing. Sometimes chunky glitter can be messy, but I do like this shade. Then we have Obscene, which I kind of want to play around with this shade. Look how stunning and foiled that is. Then the purpley shade on my pinky is Sex Appeal. Also super foiled and beautiful. And then this shade is Seductress, which it's kind of like a suede. Like it's not a super shimmer like these three, but it has more of like a suede effect, if that makes sense. Maybe I'm just making things up. But those are the 5 shimmer shades. The rest are mattes in this eyeshadow palette. So I'm thinking I want to play with this shade and maybe this shade. I don't know, I do like the glitter. Maybe lay the red down and then the glitter on top. Okay, you guys, so the eyes are primed and I'm thinking I want to go into this first shade, Lust. And I only say that because it looks like it leans a little more pink than Provocative, which looks like it leans more gray. So just on a fluffy crease brush, I'm going to pick up a little bit of that. Not too much, because the last couple times I have dipped in way too much and then I'm working forever trying to diffuse it out because it's way more pigmented than I thought. Okay, so there is some color payoff. It is looking a little pink, which is fine with me. And I'm just putting it in the crease and a little bit above to give us a little bit of definition before I use some darker shades. Now I'm gonna go into the shade Royal, which is that mauvey pinky shade. Some of these names, they're cute names. All right, so I'm gonna put it in the crease, but a little bit lower. And we're going to build this one because it is a little bit darker than Lust. I am gonna take it out into the outer V a little bit just to give us that shadowing when I add that darker shade in. Okay, so we have some depth. It's not very dark, but I also didn't build it up that way either. Now I'm gonna go into the shade Prestige. I'm gonna go in with a compacted packing brush, ever so slightly, just place it right here where I want it to be in the outer V, and then start blending it out. I'm also gonna go into the crease a little bit, not too high, but just to give us some shaping and definition. And then I dip back into Royal on my fluffy crease brush, and I'm just on the outer edge of Provocative to just diffuse out that edge. And then into Lust just on that outer edge, and it's gonna build. I'm gonna go into the shade Obscene, which is that luscious shimmer shade that, you guys, I am so excited to use this one. Now, I did pick it up on my middle finger only because I'm going to try and use Risk on top of it, which is that glitter shade. That shade is beautiful. Now, I will say there is a difference. So right here, I didn't have any eyeshadow and it was just my wet eyeshadow primer. But right here where I did have eyeshadow, it's muted down. It's not as concentrated as the eyeshadow primer. So this does like something to adhere to, unless you want it to diffuse out. So it might have been better if I had done a cut crease, although I do like to shade in from the outer V to kind of combine the two shades. So I'm not angry at it, but if you want it to pop, you're gonna wanna do a primer to give you that cut crease effect. But the bonus is it's not gonna fluff into my crease because it has nothing to attach to. Now, I did pick up that shade Risk on my ring finger. I'm just gonna tap it on top of this and see how it looks on that cranberry shimmer, which it kind of muted out, but it did pull some of the color through. And I did have some fallout from the glitter on my cheek. Not mad at it. I still haven't put my foundation or anything on, and I do that for a reason. But the glitter does not want to like stay precisely. So it just muted down that cranberry shade. It doesn't look like it has a lot of base. It looks like it's more glitter. But when I put it on the eye, it muted down the cranberry shade and made it more of a pinky hue with the glitter on it. I'm not mad at it. It's still pretty. Okay, so my face is primed. I will definitely make sure to put down below what other products I used, because I used a lot of things that I had in my collection and I know work for me. So today we're using a brand new foundation. This is the Yensa Super Serum Silk Foundation. This I got in one of my subscription boxes, and it's in shade light medium. So this is created in LA but made in Korea. So K-Beauty. Now I do like this because it It has one of those air pumps, so it's gonna push the product up. And I'm actually not sure if this is my shade, so we're going to try it on the back of my hand. Okay, it looks like it is. It looks like it will be. I'm just gonna use a brush, which is my preferred method. Okay. There's not a strong scent, but it does have, like, it doesn't smell like makeup, if that makes sense. Like, some of them can smell like the chemicals that they put in it. Okay, that was one drop that I had put on the back of my hand, and it looks really nice on the skin. Just from the mirror I have in front of me, it doesn't look super cakey. We'll see when I put powder on it how it performs, as well as concealer. And it looks like it's a decent shade match. So I'm excited for this, but you can see the difference. This is foundation, this is none, and I have my redness through here, which not my favorite, but what are you gonna do? I do use a niacinamide serum, which is supposed to help with redness, but it still likes to peek through. All right, so I went in and I put a little bit more on the back of my hand. And we'll start with one layer, see if we can build it, see if I need to build it. But it feels nice on the skin. It kind of looks a little glowy on the skin, which is nice because even though I have oily skin, I have been enjoying, especially as I've gotten older, like I would use the matte foundations, and when I was younger it was fine, but now that I have more like fine lines, the matte foundations kind of dry out and accentuate those lines. So I've been enjoying more of a hydrating, not necessarily glowy, but this one is a little glowy, which isn't too bad because with powder it will tone down. I might need a little bit more. I only used about a pump and a half, and so far it's covered most of my face, but I've run out of it on my hand. So this one I might just do straight to the forehead, but not too much. I actually don't think that I need more foundation. For it being a serum foundation, it actually has really good coverage. So I think I'm just gonna stick with this one layer because I don't want it to get super cakey either. I am gonna use a serum concealer. This one's from NYX. This is the Bear With Me. And then for powder, I have a new one. This is the KimChi Chic Puff Puff Pass powder. And it actually has a little puff in it. When I took the sifter cover off the little sticker, it definitely put some out, but I didn't want to keep this in there. So I'm gonna go ahead, speed through the concealer, but that way you can see the application. This is in the shade Vanilla. I love this one, especially during the winter. That blended out nicely on top of this foundation. Okay, and now the powder, I'm just going to tap out the underlines. And I want to say this powder is in the shade Translucent. Yep, it is. It might be too many serum products because my under eyes look crazy. So it did seem to sink into my lines even though I used my normal like Tarte Timeless. I'm gonna switch over to my sponge, which this one's just from ColourPop. And my skin right through here still looks really nice, and I have some of the biggest pores by my nose. Okay, you guys, so the foundation looks nice on my cheeks, and it didn't sink into my like chin crease that I have there. I did tap it out up here and it seems to be fine. Now the under eyes, usually with this serum concealer, I don't have any issues, but I don't know if the serum concealer plus the serum foundation was a good idea under my eyes. We'll see. I will try it again. Maybe I just need a thicker concealer for underneath my eyes when I use a serum foundation. Let's go ahead and finish the eyes so I can focus on the rest of the skin. Okay, so under the eyes, I'm gonna go in with Lust, then I'm gonna go into Royale, and then finish off with Prestige. Just on my small Huda Beauty brush. It's not a pencil brush, but it's small enough to be one. It's just a small smudger. So I'm placing it and blending it out. And this one goes, and Lust is gonna go all the way underneath the eye. Then into Royale, and we're just gonna put that right here on the outer edge. Not all the way through, just to the center. And then I'm gonna go into Prestige, place it right here at the outer corner. And then on my compacted blending brush, I'm going to place it on the outer V just to deepen it up a little bit before I blend it out. And then under, ever so slightly. Okay, so I do have a blush and highlighter that came in my subscription boxes. And this is the Natasha Denona Cupid Cheek Duo. I did try this out in that video unboxing and it is a really pretty shade. I did also go in very heavy-handed. So it's more of like a cheek gloss. And then this highlighter is a really pretty champagne shade. So I am gonna pop that in the inner corner real quick because there's not really like an inner corner brow bone shade in the palette. This one's a little more on like the gold side, which I don't normally put in my inner corner. I do more of like an icy champagne shade. But because there is some gold flakes in the glitter eyeshadow that I tried out, I figured why not. Okay, I think that's a really pretty shade. It is a little subtle, but whatever. Okay, for the blush, I am going to use it on my finger and then tap it on and then use my brush to kind of blend it out, if possible. Actually, maybe I can use the bottom of my beauty blender. Ooh, that is really pretty, just pouncing it on there. I mean, it doesn't help that my sponge is black, so I can't see how much I've picked up. But it is going on beautifully with a damp sponge. And it's not disturbing my makeup that I already set with powder. It's looking a lot darker on camera than it is in person. But I do like it. It's a really pretty flushed cheek. I didn't add any extra product to my sponge before I took it up my nose. Ooh, it gives like the little glowy effect. What do you guys think? Is it too much blush? And I didn't even need my brush for this one. Now to dive into this highlighter. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead, do my eyeliner and brows. I am gonna use the My Beauty brand X by Me. This is a liquid eyeliner that I got in the subscription box. And then I don't have anything new for brows. And I'll come back and we will do the Athr Beauty Big Bang Mascara. This packaging is beautiful. It's got like an iridescence to it. But we will try this out together as well as I have a new lip product. So let me go do that and we'll finish this off. Okay, to do mascara, I have the Big Bang Mascara from Athr Beauty. I have never opened this, so I don't know what the wand looks like. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And this is supposed to lengthen, volumize, and lift. So we'll see if it lives up to that. I did already go ahead and curl my eyelashes. Oh, it kind of gives it like a wispy effect. Okay, one coat, they're really not like showing themselves off. The one thing I will say is this wand pulls them apart. So you can see every single lash. That's just one coat. Dip in and try once more. See if we can get any difference from these. They look a little flat on the left, on this side right now. Ooh, that second coat really does add a difference. Is making them look a little bit thicker. Some of them are starting to like cling to each other. Can you guys tell a difference? It really does not help. I have thick eyeliner on. Okay, so we still have the lips to do. I did already go ahead and line my lips with the Dominique Cosmetics Creamy Fill and Define Lip Liner in Crush. I tried to find something as close to the shade that we're using today, which is the L'Oreal Glow Paradise in Beige Eden. Now, I didn't know how like opaque this was or if it was gonna be transparent. So I figured I lined my lips most of the way on the bottom, but I only lined the exterior. So I wanted to see. And if I need to go ahead and reline it so that it's all filled in, then I will. But this is a really pretty shade and it looks like it's very similar. It is, and it's very opaque, so this is a good match. Okay, one thing I will say about this is really creamy on the lips. It looks really juicy, but it transfers. I had to go in and wipe it off my teeth because it was all over them. It is a really pretty shade. It is a nude shade that I would gravitate towards. It does have, because of the lip liner, it does have a little more of like an orange lean. So I wonder what it would look like without the lip liner. We'll see. But this shade itself, we'll swatch it on the back of my hand. It's just a really pretty beigey shade. And it's really juicy. Now, the one thing I'm nervous about is I'm wearing white. So when I have these all over my hands, I'm just more cognizant of putting them close to my clothes. Anyways, so you guys, that is it for this look. Now, I feel like we used a lot of good products and I don't think I really had any like major fails. My skin looks really nice with that serum foundation. I know I'm gonna have to wait and see how it looks at the end of the day. Right now, my pores still look very smooth and I used a powder and a foundation that I'd never used before, so that's usually a no-no for me. And I'm gonna try it out. I'll obviously try out the foundation with a different powder, different primers, and see, and maybe I'll still feel the same in a week. Same thing with the powder. I'll try different foundations underneath it, see if I still like it, see what the final effect is. Right now, it still looks nice, and I'm not mad at it. The concealer, it did fall into my lines a little bit, and I don't know if that's the foundation or the concealer or the mixture of both because they're both serum products, but I usually don't have that issue with the serum concealer from NYX, so I think it's the double whammy of the serum products. I mean, I I am seeing the pronounced lines. It happens sometimes. So it could just be changing up the powder and primers, which I always use the Tarte Timeless Pore Filling Primer on my lines, and I use that also today. We'll see. Sometimes certain products don't meld together. Now, this Cupid Cheek Duo, love this. Even like I wasn't sure how this would perform, this cream product, and some cream products go on beautifully with your finger or a brush. This one went on beautifully with a sponge. So, you know, go ahead, try it out, see what works for you. You never know what the final effect's gonna be. And the highlighter is not super like in your face, which is fine. It just gives you that glowy, sun-kissed effect. Everyone has their preference, and I do like Natasha Denona highlighters and blushes. So I'm glad to have this added to my collection, and I think it was a great addition to one of my subscription boxes. The mascara, I think it was beautiful. It has a really nice effect. It did pull my eyelashes apart. It built beautifully. I only did 2 layers. I don't usually go like 4, 5, 6 layers. I just don't have time for that. But if I can get what I want in 2 layers, I'm okay. So right now, this one is gonna continue to be used. See if it still has the same desired effect. Does it start getting chunky? Does it start clumping? I wanna see. So right now, I like it. The biggest test will be, does it flake off halfway through the day? How long does it last? And when I keep using this for a week, is it gonna continue to perform and not get chunky? The powder, so far so good. I don't know if it's the foundation or the powder, but my cheeks look fine. We'll see, I'll continue to try it out. And then you guys, the Supreme Mauves. This eyeshadow palette had some stunning shimmer shades in here. The mattes were pretty. Now the only thing was this shade right here, which is Obscene on the darker shade. It started to mute out, so if you want it to have better payoff, I would recommend putting down a liner that will make it more impactful, unless you don't mind the fading out, because it did not want to lay down on top of this dark shade right here. It just kind of like muted out to almost nothing, which is fine because that's kind of what I usually do. Either a glitter primer or an eyeshadow primer or a concealer to do like a cut crease effect will make it pay off more. I'm excited to play around with the rest of these shades, especially like this purple one. We did use the glitter today, which muted this down from that beautiful luscious cranberry shade to kind of like a muted pinky red. But I like it. So far, so good. I do want to play around with some more of the neutral shades for work and then see how I feel about it in a couple weeks. Now you guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Hit the bell for notifications of new videos. If you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And until my next video, you guys, bye. I'll see you in the next one.